So it's Sunday morning, just rolled up to the church. You know, as worship leader, you get to be the first one at the church. We got a problem. We don't have any chairs. We actually have had a problem, and that's that we don't have enough space. We've been having to have 2 services here lately. And you know, we had an idea. I've had to bring the 2 services together, go back to 1. This room seats about 100 people. And I don't know the exact number. We probably have like close to 150 on this Sunday if everybody's here. And we also want room for more. And it's like the first service is still always pretty full with not very much room for anybody else, and then not as many people come to the second service. So this is what we came up with. So when we walk past the stage, go to this back door here, and we look outside, we have some lovely RV storage behind us. That's not what we're looking at though, we're looking at this. So I don't exactly remember what that building used to be, but somebody bought it recently and turned it into an event center. And that's where we're having church today, you know, right behind the building that we're in. So I need to grab a couple things, and then I will take you guys over there to show you what Sunday service is gonna look like today. Here we are. So this place basically holds, I think, over 200, so more than twice as much as our 100-seat auditorium. As you can see, I found our chairs, woo! And then also this event center's chairs. They didn't have enough, so we brought some of ours over, which is kind of a hassle, but oh well. Here is the Collaborate Worship X32 we brought over from the office. Make things a little easier, although we're not used to the full size, so having less pages to flip through is gonna be a little bit of a change up. So I'll go ahead and flip this bad boy on. It's a really noisy ice machine in there, got a little kitchen. Yeah, so this is where we're having church today. Let me get away from this ice machine. I thought I would show you guys the setup we're running here and maybe tell you a little bit about why we're over here. So obviously we also had to bring our drums over. Really the only things we had to bring over are stands, the drums, and our P16s. Everything else we already had for mobile setups. So I thought I would show you guys our mobile PA setup that we use for events outside of our church building. So we've got the SRX 15-inch mains. We actually have 4 of those, but in this room we only need 2. Got them up there on poles. And then these are the same subs that we have in the church building. So that's the SRX dual 18s, 1 on each side. We weren't really sure how they were gonna sound separated like this, because usually you'll get a dead spot somewhere in the room when you do this, but I guess they're the right distance away that it sounds pretty consistent through the room. It's also not very acoustically treated, as you can see, so maybe you're just hearing it all bounce around. This room is pretty live, especially a lot more than we're used to. Our room is pretty decently treated. The echo time is pretty short, so we're used to having a nice sounding room, and this one does not sound as nice. So that's gonna be a bit of a challenge. The plan is that we rented this for today only. We're gonna kind of give it a test run, see how things go, and then we've kind of worked out something with the owner where we might keep doing this every week and make some of the things semi-permanent, like we'll probably leave the PA system here, and then if anybody else rents this venue, they'll have access to it, and they'll pay us to use our PA system, so that's nice. You know, we'll probably run cables through the ceiling if they let us, bring it back here. We might put a curtain up back here and put some wash lights on it. You know, we'll kind of do some things that like make the space look better for an event venue. We might like put some magnets on some sound panels and put them up on the side walls, make it sound a little better in here. So we'll just make it semi-permanent things that we can obviously take with us when we are no longer using it. But like I said, this is just a trial run, so we'll see how this goes today, and then we'll see if we're gonna keep doing it. Let's go ahead and also come over here and flip on our mobile stage box unit. So we've got the S32 in there, a Furman power conditioner, and then 2 old wireless mic receivers. Only problem with those wireless mic receivers is that I have no idea where the transmitters are, which is kind of a problem. I guess we have a power conditioner plugged into a power conditioner here, so it's extra conditioned. Drums were pretty live in here, so he's gonna be using rods today instead of his normal maple sticks. And then we also put up a few sound panels behind him to hopefully catch some of those frequencies from bouncing off the wall, this little cove here. We try not to put them too far back into it, but obviously we're gonna have some sound bouncing off. Wow, somebody really lined up this row well. I gotta show you the graphic EQ that Cade did on the room here. As you can see, we got quite a bit of cutting out on the high end there. Cade was back here EQing it yesterday, and he said he just, every time he cut it, he was like, this seems pretty extensive, but when you listen to it, those high frequencies, whew, man, are they harsh in here. They're live. So I would say it's definitely sounding on the darker side, but we're able to get a good amount of power out of it without it hurting your ears, which is, you know, a win for us. I personally don't mind a darker sound. I think that, I wouldn't say that it sounds better, but my ears appreciate a darker sound a little bit more. Cade would prefer that it be a little bit brighter sounding. I guess a little more balanced, not so flat, which is understandable. But like I said, no point in having high frequencies if it hurts your ears. So sayonara to those. All right, I've got an hour till rehearsal starts, and I got a few things that I need to do. So I need to walk back over here to the church building and grab a few things. Really hoping that that AC starts going to work here in a second, because it's pretty muggy in there. Man, such a long walk. Anyway, like I said, I have no idea where the transmitters are to those wireless microphones that are over there, so I'm gonna have to just steal some of our normal wireless mics, which is kind of annoying because they're all inside of a rack, so I gotta go take those out real quick. Got it. I only actually need one of those, but I don't feel like taking them apart, so I'm just gonna take them both. Obviously, we're using an antenna, so I'm gonna have to get some whips. Bam, got some whips. Oh no, I hear it raining. I really don't appreciate that, Oklahoma. I'm trying to do stuff right now. The rain be raining. I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone, but it's a little noisy. Anyway, maybe you're interested in my acoustic setup here. So got a Taylor 214 CE with the LR Baggs Anthem pickup in it. It still has all the Taylor electronics in it. We just added that. Sounds really great plugged in thanks to that LR Baggs acoustic pickup. And then I'm just going into a Boss chromatic tuner and then into a radial direct box. A new thing we've been running with our MD mic here is this Optigate, I think is what it's called. Yeah, www.optigate.com. So this is just a proximity gate. So it has a little laser that shoots out here, and you can set the distance that it opens up. So when our MD puts her face up to the microphone, I think like this close, that senses her face there and opens up the gate. Otherwise it's completely closed, so you don't have any drum bleed in our in-ears. And that's really come in handy. I highly recommend it. I might make a full-length video on that, but if you have any questions about it, just let me know in the comments. Anyway, I'm excited to see how this goes today. Not the biggest fan of the fluorescent lighting and the fact that there's no stage lighting of any sort, but you know, what does it matter? I mean, I know that lighting can have a psychological effect on us as humans, and it does change the vibes and how the room feels. But when it comes down to it, worshiping God is the same regardless of what your lighting looks like. And there's plenty of churches out there that are, you know, doing amazing things for the kingdom of God with fluorescent lighting. So I know that we can do the same. As you can probably imagine, it was a busy Sunday. I completely forgot to record any B-roll. I was gonna ask someone else to do it and forgot that too. And then also, worship didn't get recorded, sadly, but the sermon did. I was able to run back there after worship, make sure that got recorded. So here's what that looked like if you're curious. But I'm gonna go up to Cade's office real quick and just get his thoughts on how he thinks the service went. What up?
What's up?
I need to get your thoughts on the setup this past Sunday.
You know, I was surprised. This is the first venue where I've been EQ in the room, and I had to make a 9 dB cut in, I think it was like 3 kilohertz. Never had to do that before, so whenever I was EQ in the room, I was nudging it down to like 3, 4, 5 dB, and I was like, oh, that's not getting me where I want to go. And then I'd listen, and it wouldn't be right. Ended up cutting all the way to 9, and I was like, wow, that's it. And it sounded great, but it really worried me that I had to cut that much. Other than that, Sound was good. I mean, I missed being in a controlled room because we've had a lot of time to get our other room to our liking with sound panels and things like that. But all in all, to just do a quick setup to go in there, EQ the room, and then just get the music going, it turned out to be pretty great. Man, to have one service and have everybody there was nice, because we've been doing 2 services for close to a year now. And I know some churches would be like, that's all, because you've been doing multiple services for a long time. But to have everybody come together and in the same room was just, is like having the family together. Will we go back to this venue? I think it's a decent solution, but for some reason I walked away thinking, I just don't know that this is the right fit. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for what else is out there, because I think there's something better. Oh, one thing that we found out is really interesting. The drummer came in and he was playing, and the snare was just going crazy because he was kind of in this cubby, and the way the room was reverberating at 3 kilohertz, all you could hear was like the snap of the snare, and it was overwhelming. So it's like, man, what are we gonna do about this? We went and got some sound panels and that helped, but what made all the difference was from him switching from just regular sticks to the rods. I mean, it was shocking how big of a difference it made. So don't forget that with your drummer. If your drummer sounds too loud or something's going wrong, try different sticks, because that might just make all the difference.
All right, well, that's it for this little mobile setup tour. If you are a mobile church and you have any questions about, how to get things sounding good when you're taking things in and out all the time, stuff always changing, then be sure to let us know in the comments, or you can head over to collaborateworship.com and ask us a question there. Besides that, in the description, I left a free vocal EQ cheat sheet for you, so be sure to check that out. I think you'll find it really useful. Then check out this other video on your screen that you might like as well, and we'll see you next time.